What if, starting tomorrow, humans could breathe underwater? No tanks, no suits, no limits. Today, we're diving into one of the most breathtaking and terrifying questions ever imagined. What if people could live underwater? It begins with a miracle. Somewhere, a child falls into the ocean and doesn't drown. She opens her mouth in panic, expecting to choke, but instead, she breathes. The salty water flows into her lungs and out again, as natural as air. Within hours, the world confirms the impossible. Across the globe, from bustling beaches to remote coastlines, the phenomenon is real. Humans can now breathe underwater. There's no scientific explanation, no warning, just a sudden, fundamental rewriting of what it means to be human. The shoreline is no longer an edge. It's a frontier. The ocean is no longer a barrier. It's an invitation. A new age has begun. Within days, a tidal wave of humanity rushes to the sea. The initial fear gives way to a euphoric, global curiosity. Divers, once tethered to bulky equipment and strict timelines, go deeper than ever before, completely unburdened. Swimmers disappear beneath the waves for hours, then days, exploring coral reefs with the ease of birds flying through a forest. Cities along every coast explode with movement as people prepare for the Great Descent. For the first time in history, the ocean isn't a place you just visit. It's a place you enter, a new world to inhabit. And what we find down there changes everything we thought we knew about our planet. We discover sunken cities, not of myth, but of civilizations lost to time, perfectly preserved in the anaerobic depths. We find vast, intricate coral kingdoms, glowing with life forms we've never imagined. Underwater mountain ranges, with peaks taller than Mount Everest, rise from the abyssal plains. A hidden world, which was always there, finally reveals its secrets. This wasn't just an empty expanse of blue. It was a continent waiting for us to breathe it. The Earth has effectively doubled in size, and humanity, with a collective gasp of wonder, begins its second great migration. Within months, the first underwater settlements start to appear, blooming like strange new flowers on the seabed. Engineers and dreamers collaborate to build glass domes anchored to oceanic ridges, their transparent walls offering panoramic views of the deep. Floating cities, tethered to the surface by impossibly strong cables, drift with the major currents, following migratory patterns of whales. The streets of these new metropolises are not paved with asphalt but illuminated by bioluminescent algae, casting an ethereal, shifting glow on everything. Life here is fundamentally different. People live among pods of whales and schools of sharks, no longer as observers, but as neighbors. Children grow up learning to swim before they ever walk, their playgrounds being kelp forests and gentle currents. Homes are not fixed, but drift gently, their occupants, waking up to new underwater vistas every morning. Human civilization begins to split in two. Those who remain on the land, bound by gravity and tradition, and those who choose the freedom and mystery of the deep. The ocean becomes humanity's second, vibrant world. But the sea is not a gentle paradise. We quickly learn that this new world has its own set of brutal rules. The immense pressure at greater depths crushes unprotected structures, turning ambitious projects into tombs of twisted metal. In an instant, colossal creatures, previously unknown to science, emerge from the dark, abyssal trenches. These are beings the size of skyscrapers, ancient leviathans, older than human civilization itself, and they are not always pleased with our arrival. The connection between the surface and the deep becomes terrifyingly clear. Storms raging on the surface create underwater earthquakes and landslides below. Entire cities built on unstable seabeds shake violently, and some vanish without a trace, swallowed by the abyss. And then comes the chilling realization. The ocean is not empty. It is a living, breathing system. We are not its masters. We are merely visitors in a vast kingdom that has ruled this planet for nearly 4 billion years. And it will not surrender its sovereignty quietly. We have entered a domain that has its own ancient, powerful, and indifferent will. With this new frontier comes a new kind of conflict. Resource disputes erupt almost immediately. Who owns the mineral-rich seafloor? Who controls the rights to underwater mining operations that could power nations for centuries? Who decides which countries can expand their territory downward, claiming vast swaths of the ocean? Underwater borders are drawn in the dark, and nations enforce them with a new generation of stealth submarines that become the ultimate weapons. Silent battles rage in the crushing blackness, with explosions that are felt as shockwaves for miles, but are never seen. And worst of all, humanity's oldest and darkest habit follows us into this pristine abyss: pollution. Plastic debris, which we had already dumped into the oceans for decades, now forms suffocating clouds in the deepest trenches. Industrial accidents and oil spills poison the very coral civilizations we've only just begun to understand. For the first time, we realize the terrible truth. We didn't just gain a second world, we were given a second chance, and we might already be ruining it, repeating the same mistakes that have scarred the land. The fight for the deep becomes a fight against our own nature. Generations pass in this new dual world. The children born and raised underwater begin to change. Their bodies adapt. Their lungs grow larger to process water more efficiently. Their hearts become stronger to pump blood against the immense pressure. Their bones grow denser. Their skin slowly changes, taking on new sheens and textures. Their eyes adapt to the perpetual twilight of the deep, able to see in near total darkness. Humanity slowly, but surely, splits into two distinct forms: the surface humans, Homo sapiens, and the ocean humans, perhaps Homo aquaticus. We are now two peoples, sharing the same planet and the same ancestors, but shaped by different worlds. The oceans are reshaping us, just as the savannas and forests once did. We are becoming something new. If humans could live underwater, our planet would double in size overnight. Our civilization would expand into a vast, silent darkness filled with wonders and terrors beyond our imagination. The very meaning of the word Earth would forever change. But the real transformation wouldn't be technological or geographical. It would be spiritual. Because once you've lived beneath the waves, once you've heard the songs of whales echoing through the silent dark, once you've seen cities glowing like constellations under miles of crushing pressure, you realize something incredibly powerful. We were never meant for just one world. And maybe, just maybe, the ocean has been waiting for us all along. Just for us to enter it. But for us to become something more. So, tell me, if you could breathe beneath the waves tomorrow, would you stay on land, or would you dive into the deep? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.